Let's do this. Okay, so it's been 2 years. Well, my voice got lower. It's been 2 years since my last Q&A. I did my last one in like June 2017, 2.5 years. And I thought it'd be a good time, a good opportunity now in November 2019 for you guys to get to know me a bit more. So yesterday I posted on my Instagram, I invited you all to ask me anything, and you did. I had like 200 and something responses. I'm gonna go for about 10-15 minutes and see how far we get. I don't expect we'll get through them all, but let's just go straight on. No particular order. I'm gonna start with El Saidi 96, who says, are you planning to work again in Kuwait? I'm not planning to, but I'm not planning not to. I'm quite enjoying the unemployed, self-unemployed life right now. So I have no immediate plans to go back to work in Kuwait, but I certainly do have plans again to visit Kuwait. Lovely Dream Day says, how do you deal with YouTube hate comments? You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. The ones I share here on my Instagram, or well, not here, but on my Instagram, are like the nice ones. They're the ones which don't get held for review, don't get held as likely spam. I've got about 7,000 in my spam folder, which YouTube automatically holds back if there's anything slightly remotely offensive or rude or vulgar or yeah, offensive, I guess is the main thing. Then it's just blocked straight away. And sometimes, like, I don't know, every couple of months I just kind of pop in there and I'm like, whoa, like this is some serious weird stuff. But how do I deal with it? Anyway, that was the question. How do you deal with it? Well, it's like you're gonna get it, right? If you have millions of people watching your videos and you have 20-something million views on a channel, like a little fraction of those are gonna be nutcases and like they're just gonna give you crazy stuff. But I laugh, I giggle, I share it with my Instagram followers, and that's like how I deal with it. I like that a lot of you guys kind of see the funny side in it as well. I get some people like, oh, don't share these, like don't give these people attention. It's not like I'm giving them attention, like it genuinely makes me laugh, and I know a lot of you, because you write to me and you tell me you find them hilarious too. So the way I'll deal with them is that I share them with my Instagram followers, like quite occasionally. Ragad Alan, when did you start to be interested in Arabic? Very good question. I can't really remember. I mean, I did have an Arabic lesson when I was at school, and that was going back a few years now. And the teacher came in and she said, Assalamu alaikum, and we all said, wa alaikum assalam. We didn't say it quite so well, but that was the gist. So I started becoming quite interested. Then at university, I had a friend. He was from Oman. And yeah, like he was teaching me like shukran, afwan, all these kind of words, and then it kind of continued on from there, and I got more and more interested. Obviously, I moved to the Middle East and learned even more from then. Come to Egypt, please. Yeah, been there, and I've done some of it, haven't done all of it, but I've been to Egypt. There's loads of videos on Egypt. If you search Mike Still Egypt, you'll see videos from Cairo, the pyramids, and all that kind of stuff, so that was fun. Do you love me? I love you. Yes, I do. Any plan for coming back to Dubai? Not immediately. I haven't got any flights booked for Dubai, but I really do like the UAE. It was a great place to live, great quality of life, fantastic people, very comfortable, very easy, very safe, very secure, full of entertainment, lovely kind of country in terms of what you can do and what you can, you know, the opportunities that are available for you. So I don't have any immediate plans, but who knows? What's the best life advice you could give me? Carl 4B. Without knowing anything about you, like I really can't really answer that. Just, you know, like take each step as it comes, and if you have a specific question, then you're free to ask me in the next Q&A, which could be in a couple of years. Hope that's okay. What's your life philosophy? Again, Carl B. My life philosophy is like just enjoy each moment as it comes, and like that sounds so cliche, but like I think to have any specific life philosophy is kind of lying to yourself, because as soon as you give yourself, right, I'm going to live by this rule, then something else comes up which challenges it. There are very few fundamental principles or philosophies that you can live your life by, and I haven't really got to a point where I've really solidified those myself. I haven't really given it much thought. So my life philosophy right now is that it's, first of all, it's like a very unique thing to every individual person. I'm trying to just make the most of each day, each minute, each hour. And that's not necessarily being like ultra productive. Like, as you guys know, I'm pretty lazy. I only upload like once every couple of weeks. My goal isn't to be like the biggest YouTuber. I don't really have any particular goals of being like 1 million subscribers or anything like that. But I just like to make the most of each day, and that doesn't mean, like I say, do work, but it just means to enjoy and be happy and comfortable and content in each passing moment, as opposed to constantly be chasing something, because the future never comes. The past is an illusion, the future is an illusion, so you kind of just try and enjoy each moment. So that's my philosophy. Would you visit Istanbul soon? I've been to Istanbul, made some videos in Istanbul. You can search Mike Still Turkey and you'll find some videos there. So will I go back? Not sure. If you could go back in time, what would you change or choose? Oh, I wouldn't change anything about my life. No, I have no regrets. I don't do changing the past or anything. No, it's all good. Like, everything happens and I don't look back. Have you ever been to Italy? Yes, I went on a school trip when I was about 16. I went to Venice and it was fantastic. Any plans to visit Saudi? Yes, I do have some plans. Nothing booked, nothing solidly in the diary, but I would like to visit Saudi hopefully next year, maybe February, March or something. I'm not sure. When are you coming to Kuwait again? Not sure, but if I'm in Saudi, maybe I'll go to Kuwait because, you know, they're pretty close, right? Based on your current daily actions and routines, where would you expect to see yourself in 5 years? From It's Me, Kate. 5 years time, again, I kind of just mentioned how I don't really look forward too much. I mean, I have a rough plan, and every time my mum calls me, it's like, what are you doing? You know, when are you coming home? When are you doing this? Where are you going to be? Where are you going to be living? Are you going to have kids? Whatever. I would like some kids in 5 years. I would like to have a house. I would like to have a bit more stability, like some roots. I don't really have any roots at the moment. I mean, I do have roots, but I don't have like a solid foundation. I don't have any roots, but the plus side of that is that I don't really have any serious responsibility in terms of like a house, a mortgage, etc., which gives me the ability to move freely and globally and move all over the place. And I've been spending a lot of time in Southeast Asia, which wouldn't be able to kind of continue if I bought a house and like had bills and stuff like that, so that would change a lot. So where would I expect to see myself in 5 years? I'd expect to see myself maybe like with a couple of 2-year-olds, a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a house, probably in England, but maybe in America, but I don't know. I will see. We'll see what happens, right? Hopefully I'll still be all good and healthy and everything. What is the best city you feel I'll be comfortable in England when I go there for studying? It really depends on yourself. I mean, this is a very specific question. I'm going to have to go much faster than this. I don't know. It really depends on what you like. Do you like a big city or small city? Whatever. How old are you? I'm 30. What made you learn Arabic? Well, I learned it because I learned it at school. I had Arabic speaking friends at university, and I took a course with my job shortly after that, and then I moved to Kuwait. And it's been like a long-going journey. Like, I'm still learning. You say, I love the Middle Eastern country. Okay, cool, yeah, me too. Rate your experience in Kuwait from 10. 10, it's great, love it. How did you learn Arabic? Was it hard for you? How did I learn it? Well, it's like repetition, reading, writing, learn the alphabet, and practice and study and put lots of time into it. Are you currently in Kuwait? No. Where in Kuwait can you get British cuisine? No idea. I was eating curry from the Indian guy around the corner. What do you think about Italy? I don't really think about it. It's like, I think it's got quite high unemployment. I think they've got some kind of questionable leadership going on there. I always read about not always, but I have read about like Berlusconi and all that. I think it's a nice country. Apparently it's good food. I'm not like a massive fan of Italian food, but yeah, it's quite cool. Hi there, do you do any meetup regarding English speaking? No, sorry. Why don't you asking people more questions? We need more YouTube videos. I'll make some more, like, give me time, yeah? Let me just relax for a bit. Honestly, what is the best thing about Arabs and bad things about Arabs? Arabs, like, they're a whole group of people. You can't really say anything specific about Arabs. The best thing, like, they're definitely warmer and more hospitable and more caring and more genuine and more trustworthy and more loyal. Like, I don't even have to hesitate for that. And I started by saying, well, you can't generalize a group, but actually you definitely can make those statements. And I have no problems saying stuff like that. Like, Arabs are more loyal than non-Arabs. Like, I get it depends who you're comparing them, but like my control group, if you like, is like Westerners, British Westerners, who are just like me, right? Like, Arabs are like, can I be your friend? And like, if you say yes, it's like, right, we're friends, you know, like, give each other this gift, like, you're friends for life. And like, they're really warm-hearted, and it can be quite off-putting to a Westerner when they see that, because it's like kind of a bit unusual. You're not used to it. It's not something you've ever experienced before, that same kind of intensity of friendship. Bad things about Arabs, like, there's no bad things about, specifically bad things about Arabs. Like, everything that's a good thing can also be a bad thing when taken to the extreme, I guess. What's something you think everyone should do at least once in their lives? Oh, this is a good one. I think simply like put live abroad, work abroad, and go to those countries which you hear about on the news and read about in the papers, but haven't really experienced. Like my mum, bless her, she's never really travelled much, but she came to out to Asia. My sister lives in Japan. I've been in Thailand for the last few months, and she came to visit me in Thailand. I flew back with her because she didn't want to fly by herself. But that was her first time to Asia. She's in her 60s, and it's like that was a big deal, and that was life. Like it literally changed her worldview, and she's, you know, it really gives you a perspective and a perspective shift, change in kind of seeing what is out there and appreciating it and realizing actually like the world's a big place. And it's not all about you and your town, your country, and your city. There's so much going on around the world, and it gives you like a bit of a grounding, I think. So yeah, live abroad. Not sure what you mean by that, but cool. Thanks. Will you do more Arabic videos? Yeah, I will. I did a poll on Twitter recently, which suggested to me that people want more Arabic videos, so I will do that. What's your age? I'm 30. How do you learn Arabic and other languages? Yeah, loads of videos on that. I'm trying to learn German. What's your recommendations? I'm not the guy for that. Who is the American girl in your videos? In your differences videos? She's my wife, actually. Yeah, you heard it here first. Where in Kuwait can you get British cuisine? Oh, I've done that one already. Oops. How can I learn English? Practice. Do you like fish and chips? I love fish and chips. What country did you enjoy? Yeah, I love Oman. I love Kuwait. I love Jordan. I like Thailand. I like Vietnam. I probably easier to say which countries I didn't enjoy. Didn't enjoy the States that much. I'm not a big fan of America overall for loads of reasons, which I won't go into here. But yeah, I'm kind of not too much into Europe either. I guess I like Asia, and yeah, I guess that answers that. How old are you? 30. What's the best thing about Arabs? Bad things. Done that one. Oops. Can you tell me, please, the best place in Kuwait? It's because I want to go there soon. There's loads of nice places, but I'll leave other Kuwaitis to tell you about those. How many languages can you speak? I speak a little bit of Arabic, a little bit of English, a little bit of German, a little bit of French, and a few others like a little bit of Spanish, some Japanese, and a bit of Bahasa, but like tiny bits. The only ones I really speak is English and Arabic, obviously. أتكلم عربية شوية. What are your thoughts about the new Cybertruck? Rising Dom, I love this one. Oh, what a joke. When he like released it and he threw that ball at it, like I had to watch that about 1,000 times. I wouldn't buy one. Like people are saying they're ugly. I don't know. The thing is about fashion is like the majority, the mob decides what looks good and what doesn't. So if something is fashionable, then like it's in the eye of the beholder. I mean, I don't know. It could take off. It could become like an icon, or it could just totally flop and fail. I'm not going to be buying one anytime soon. I think I don't know why you'd need like an armoured vehicle driving, you know, your kids to school or whatever, but yeah, it was pretty funny anyway. Do you like American accent or British? Depends where you're from, I guess. I like British accent because that's where I'm from. Please come to Malaysia, bro. I love Malaysia. Went to Kuala Lumpur last year. It was fantastic. Really liked it. And yeah, I'd like to go back. So thank you. I'm trying to get through as many as I can. Would you like to learn any other language? Yeah, I'd like to learn Thai. Sawadee khap. Kop kun khap. Yun ti dai. Yi ti dai ronai. That's really it. How are you? I'm good, thanks. كيف الثقافة البريطانية يقارن الخليجية? I think what Murphy Connell is asking here, how is the culture in Britain different or like similar to Gulf culture? You know, like I think I've talked about this extensively, but so different. Like, and it all comes from the religion, really. Like the religion in the Middle East, in the Gulf, is everywhere. Like the call to prayer hits you. The routines of people is all guided by the prayers. Like you go to the bank and there might be no one in there because they might be praying. Everything kind of really calms down on Friday when it's Yom al-Jum'ah, day of prayer, and the culture's different. You know, you can't like, people are just much more like respectful, moderate. You don't get people dancing on police cars and like boozing in streets and like fighting and stabbing and stuff. Like it's just way more safe, way more chill, way more calm, way more civilized. It's like so much more civilized in the Gulf than it is in Britain. Britain's like Britain's chaos now. It's kind of going a bit chaotic. Planning to visit KSA. Yeah, I am next year, hopefully. Apa kabar, says Siwu192. I'm good, thanks. That means how are you in Bahasa, but I'm not sure how to respond to it. You can say Selamat pagi. Oh God, it's 20 minutes, Nelly. 16 minutes. Are you a military man? I served, and respect if you did. Respect if you didn't too, because kindness. I'm not a military man, but I was. Yeah, I was in the Air Force. That was my first job after graduating. And yeah, but I just did a few years, joined as a pilot, did about 150 hours of flying training, and then PVR'd. And then I went into teaching, so I shifted. So yeah, thank you, Laura Sparks. Did you stop learning Japanese? I've paused it. I've not stopped, but I've paused. Yes, I will learn. Watashi wa Arabiya go Nihongo wo Eigo wo hatashimasu. When are you going to let me teach you proper Arabic? Awkward. The longest year I've been abroad. Well, I tend to go back to the UK like once a year for maybe a couple of months, or maybe a few weeks. So the longest I've ever not been abroad would probably be about a year. Like when I went back to the UK this past summer, it had been basically a year. I was last there in kind of September. It'd been like 11 and a half months. But I spend most of the year abroad, then I go back. I like the UK in the summer. I like the UK in Christmas time, although I'm not going back this Christmas. But I don't know, like you can probably tell I'm not that in love with Britain anymore, but the truth is like it's still my home. And first question way back, like where do you see yourself in 5 years? I can see myself living and putting down a home. And I think when you have like a family and kids and stuff, like you kind of, your perspectives change and then your priorities change. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to want to come and visit the Middle East and Asia and Southeast Asia and the Far East. Like that's the part of the world that I'm kind of in love with, I guess. America, not interested. South America, not interested. Sorry if you're from South, I know I've got loads of South American people. But like, it's for me, it's all about the Middle East and like Southeast Asia and like these kind of emerging markets and like the slightly less developed countries. Like there's just so much nobility and humbleness and amazing stuff out here to experience, and it's kind of very polluted, but other than that it's beautiful and there's lots of undiscovered things. There's a lot of unleashed potential, so much potential out here for a lot of interesting things to happen. You know, like it's been 20 minutes now and I'm thinking I might just make this a really long one and kind of make it almost like, I don't know, I'm just going to go as long as I want and you can listen to it at double speed. Good luck with that. Celebrity crush, probably Deepika Padukone. I think I said that right. Yeah, Deepika Padukone. She's like a Bollywood star. She's like pretty amazing. Next question. What's up? What's up, man? I'm good. What's up, Doc? Are you currently in Kuwait? No. And if not, when will you come back? I will come back next year, I hope, inshallah. Why aren't you teaching anymore? Actually, I do teach. Like I teach online, I teach on YouTube, and I have online students. So when I'm not making YouTube videos, I'm teaching mostly like 11 and 12-year-olds science. So I have these groups of students who I teach science to. They're very bright, far brighter than I am, and it's a pleasure to teach them. And they're all going to like top schools and stuff like that. And I kind of coach them and train them to getting into top schools. And I really enjoy doing that, and it's fantastic. And it's like it gives me my sense of my sense of value. It gives me my sense of having delivered value to people, because I think sometimes when you're a YouTuber and like you don't really work, like you're just kind of chilling, you're watching a lot of Netflix, you can be like, what's the point in my life, right? But by spending a few hours a week with these different students and seeing their science knowledge and ability really kind of improve over time, and not just over time but immediately in that lesson as well, and we're like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, so the gradient is this, so the changing gradient, okay, so the gradient's getting less steep, which means that the actually acceleration is actually decreasing, but it's still getting faster. So it's like this kind of things, like the physics of it, I love the maths, the problems, the computing behind it, and the idea of looking at a problem, solving that problem, and then getting that satisfaction from having solved that problem. It also answers lots of questions about like how the world works, like what causes this, what causes that. If X affects Y and Y affects X, then what happens to Z, and all these kind of inputs and outputs. And so I get a lot of pleasure from that. So the answer to that question, why aren't you teaching anymore, is I am. Yeah, I am. How can I take a picture with you in London? Well, first of all, I need to go to London. Then I'll need to message you, Filippi Tropio, and then we'll need to arrange a time and a place, and then you need to get your phone out and hold it up. When I'll next be in London, keep a look on my story, keep up to date. Add me on Snapchat as well, same as my Instagram handle, Mike Still UK. And that's like, I love Snapchat because it's like very much in the moment. Like you can see if someone's posted a picture from like a year ago or 2 years ago, whereas and you can also at the same time see if people are sharing stuff that's happening like right there. So if I'm posting pictures from London on Snapchat, then I'm in London, right? What made you want to teach? I was in the Air Force and I was like, this is all right, but it's not great. And I think I'd quite like to go and teach in Oman. So I found this website and I started looking at jobs in the Middle East in Oman. And so I applied for jobs in Oman and Kuwait. And did I apply in Oman? Maybe. But anyway, the job in Kuwait came up. I got offered it first and I took it. And that brought me into my career in teaching. But I've always enjoyed teaching. Like, I like sharing ideas and sharing knowledge, and like I've just been talking about, that satisfaction of kind of helping other people to understand a concept or improve their knowledge is really satisfying. How many languages can you speak? I've kind of answered that, I think. Where do you live now? So right now I'm in Thailand. I've been here on and off for a few months, kind of between Japan, Vietnam, Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, UK, Malaysia. And how do you know so much about Kuwait and Dubai? Well, I lived in Kuwait for a year. I lived in Kuwait, in Dubai for about a year-ish. So yeah, I lived there is the short answer. I've lived in both those countries and I've taught in both those countries. I've lived there, I've worked there. That's how I know a little bit. I don't know so much about them, but I know a little bit about those places. How's your Japanese now? It's okay. I can help you if you need any help with Arabic. Thank you. What's your favorite Arabic dialect despite Fusha? So other than Fusha, what's my favorite Arabic dialect? I think my favorite one is Khaliji because it's like the most useful for me with my roots or my connections in these Gulf countries. So if I'm gonna really focus on a dialect, it's gonna be Khaliji. Do you actually love Arabs or only the Arabic language? Do you actually love Arabs or only the Arabic language? That's a hilarious one because it's like, well, I like the language, but I also really like Arabs. And I've been touched by, that sounds weird, I've been touched by Arabs. I've been touched by their hospitality and their warmness, and in visiting Jordan and studying Arabic in Jordan and studying Arabic in Kuwait, you get this really strong sense that they mean what they say and they're genuine and they're loyal and they're really caring and very warm people. The other side of it is as I'm sure you've seen in my Kuwait videos about a lot of comments being like, oh, Kuwaitis aren't very nice people. They're very, people say that they are entitled. Well, they are pretty entitled because they've got loads of money and they have a good, comfortable life and they don't really have to work for it. That's just a fact. But they're honest, they're not gonna be fake nice. What I hate the most is when you go to a restaurant in America and they're like, good morning, can I get you some coffee? And there's you get this really kind of fake niceness. I would much rather be treated by or served by someone in a restaurant who's being honest, right? I don't want the fake niceness. And the thing is with people in the Middle East and also people more broadly in Asia, Japanese people are so friendly. It's almost scary how friendly they are. They will be hello, konnichiwa, konnichiwa, and they'll be bowing and so overly hospitable. But they're not faking that. You cannot fake that. And if they are, they're incredible actors. But the Arab people are, yeah, they're more genuine. There's less fakeness. That's basically my feeling on that. How can I improve my Arabic language skills? Well, watch my videos and I've got loads of tips in there. Ravi Mavoru says, if you believe in God, who created God? Silly. God doesn't need a creator. Silly boy. Good question though. Hey, that looks like me in your profile picture. No questions. You're awesome, man. Keep going. Okay, cool. If you could choose which country you had been born in, which would you choose? Okay, so here's the difficult thing. So Dr. Funk 2028. That's a really good question. And I've been kind of slagging off Britain and America, unfortunately. I hope you don't come away thinking that I really have particularly bad feelings about them, which I don't. I'm just kind of, having seen Asia and lived in the Middle East, I've got a really clear view on like life in Middle East, life in Southeast Asia, life in the Far East, life in UK, and I've lived in America as well. I've spent like overall about a year in America, like 3 months here, 3 months there. Actually, it's not been a year, it's been about 6 months, but all different. I've driven across the country from east to west, Texas to the west, lots of East Coast. I'm married to an American, like I know America, I've got American family. Anyway, back to the question. If I could choose which country I'd be born in, it would have to be an English-speaking country. And if there's any kind of privilege or entitlement which does exist, it's like the privilege of being born into an English-speaking country. The time that you guys watching this video have put into learning English is like thousands of hours. Okay, now you've worked so hard, you've been studying this in school, you've been putting your blood, sweat and tears into learning English, you've been watching Netflix shows, you've been watching YouTube, you've been learning words, every opportunity, you've put so much work into learning English, okay? And us people who are born in the UK, America, Australia, Canada, whatever, we're just given this gift of having English. And English, like, why is it a gift? Well, why is English better than other languages? It's not better. It's just the world's language, the world's language. You go to any country in the world, any part of the world, and if there's one second language that road sign or that train station sign or that sign on the front of the shop is going to be in, it's going to be in English. It makes your life easy. Not only that, but it gives you this like endless opportunity, career opportunity to teach English abroad, teach English online, communicate with people. All the kind of biggest companies and some of the most kind of respected and a large proportion of the people who have done the most research and study in particular fields, like I'm thinking podcasters and people who know a lot about that subject and authors who write books and share information, like almost every time that's going to be in English. And even if it was a German guy or girl who wrote the book or authored that publication, or if it was like a Spanish speaker, that's going to be available in English, right? So they're going to translate it into English. So by speaking English, you have this incredible opportunity to live abroad, work abroad, teach English abroad, and tap into all of the good stuff, the good content, the good knowledge, the good information that is available to the English-speaking world. And that is why I would choose to be born in an English-speaking country. Britain's the best out of all of them. Yeah, Canada, not sure about Canada. America, again, I love America, I really do. Like, I have a love for it, but I'm not American, and like Britain is so different from America. The culture in Britain is so different from American culture. And I tell you what, if we didn't speak the same language, there would be no relationship there. Like, we're so different people in so many ways. We're definitely more European. Like, the UK is definitely more European than it is American. Like the UK has so much more in common with its European neighbours than it does with its American colleagues across the pond. So yeah, I would have been born in Britain, basically. Very long answer to a short question. My choice would be to be born in Britain. I love, out of all the countries, Britain is a good place to be a citizen of, to have a passport of, and it's got some problems. And I also like the new and exciting aspect of living in different places. But Britain is my answer. How do you learn any language in a few months? I don't know. You kind of put loads of hours, you practice, you spend a lot of time, you get up early, you practice words, you learn 10, 15, 20 words a day. You do it again, you expose yourself, you listen to the radio in that language, you listen to podcasts in that language, you watch shows in that language. It's definitely easier to learn English because there's so much more resources available. So going back to what I was saying about being born into an English speaking country and what knowledge and what advantage that gives you, the flip side of that is that it's much easier for people to learn English than it is, okay, let me rephrase that. It's much easier for a non-native English speaker to learn English than for a native English speaker to learn like a second language, just because there's so much more incentive. Like, it's too easy for an English speaker to not learn a second language. It's too easy. you know, like, yes, I've learned Arabic with help from people and resources and courses, and like I've done it, and I've lived in the Middle East, and I've put in a bit of my own time in doing that, and I've learned a bit of Japanese, put in my own time for that, and etc. And I do have an interest in learning languages, but you can go so far through life without learning any languages as an English speaker. You don't need them. Like, it's easy. But you will never understand the culture, you will never appreciate the people there, you will never develop that deeper rapport with the people who live in that country, and you'll be missing out on so much, such a rich, strong experience when you do like dig deeper into that culture and brush away the sand from those bones which have been left by that dinosaur and go, oh, okay, so this is what the Arabic language kind of originates from, and this is why people say that, and this is why people say alhamdulillah, barakallah, and inshallah, and mashallah, and all these kind of phrases and what they mean, and you can develop a better understanding for them. Ariane125531, can we meet? Depends where you are, I guess. If we're in the same place and you message me, hell yeah. كيف كان يومك اليوم? How was my day? Well, it's 1 o'clock. I woke up fairly late. I just tried to sort out these questions so that I can kind of order them. And my day's going just great. Thank you very much. Thoughts on Levantine Arabic? Yeah, it's different. Very, very general. So it's very different to Khaliji, but it's good. Still in Kuwait? Nope. إيه أكثر دولة عربية أحبتها? Which Arabic state do you like the most? Do you like the most? أحبتها. Yeah. So which Arabic state do you like the most? Well, I guess I have the closest relationship with Kuwait. I like the UAE. I fell in love with Jordan, and Egypt was a really cool place. Like, you need to know what you're getting yourself in for if you're going to Egypt, but it's cool. I like Morocco. But you said, what's the best? Which one do you like the most? I guess Kuwait. If someone put a gun to my head and said, all right, you've got to pick a country now to live in for the rest of your life out of the Middle East, it'd probably be Kuwait. There's something about it. Something about Kuwait. I like Kuwait. Where do you live right now, and how is it so far? So I've been living most of this year in Thailand. It's great. I love it here. When are you coming to Kuwait? Not sure. Next year. What's your height? About 170, I think, centimeters, which is about 5'7". So yeah, like not that tall. Will you make more English lessons? Because I learned a lot from them. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. De Prado. I will do that. Please be specific, because you know, there's so many people teaching English on YouTube, and it's like I can teach English, but I need to know exactly what you want, and I'm actually a physics teacher, not an English teacher, so we can like read books together, and I hope that by watching this video you're learning English in listening to me, listening to the way I speak, and listening to how I pronounce the words, and it's helping your comprehension and your listening skills, inshallah. Are you willing to teach English in Irbid, Jordan? I get job offers very often, like probably twice a week. I'll check my emails and I'll get like a job offer. Please come to this place, we'll pay you this much, we'll give you a house, blah blah blah. And I'm not looking for a job right now, so the short answer is not right now, but thank you for the kind offer. Mango's lemons. Mango's lemons. Good mix. Mango's lemons. It's 096. How did you end up living in Kuwait? I left the Air Force to teach abroad, and Kuwait was the first school that gave me a job offer. So I moved to Kuwait and I stayed there. So yeah, I basically went there with work. I went there to move with my job. Are you still in Kuwait? No. When you come next year? Are you married? Yes, I am. How old are you? I'm 30 years old. How about to make video with Arabic gay like me? I have a channel. Okay, let me check out your profile later and maybe send you a message. But yeah, maybe. Like, I do like this idea of calling my subscribers and getting people involved, and maybe like I'd like to start a series called Calling My Subscribers, where I basically call people up and we have a conversation, because right now I've been talking for 35 minutes and it's all just monotonal and just me. And hopefully you're still here. If you are, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. And I'd like to get more of a dialogue and interview people and talk to people, because people is my passion. I have lots of passions: music, languages, people, learning, science, water, although I don't normally drink it cold, but I am today. How old are you? I'm still 30. What's the toughest and best part about being a YouTuber? Sneha. Thank you, Sneha. What's the toughest? Well, there's no tough part. Like, it's definitely not a tough job, so there's nothing tough about it. But what's the best part? Well, it's freedom. It gives you the ability to have an audience and to talk to people like this, like to talk to about 100,000 people right now, and to see your comments below in the description and read them back and get this dialogue going. I learned so much about people from having an audience, and in posting something on my Snapchat or my Instagram, or making a video on YouTube and then seeing the response to it and seeing the feedback and reading the comments, it really does like fascinate me to think that every single one of this, whatever, 250,000 subscribers or whatever, I think it's more actually, maybe 290, blimey, I haven't checked for ages. Yeah, I think it's closer to 300 than 250 now. And the fact that every single one of these subscribers is a real person with like a real life and real thoughts and goals and hopes and dreams and ambitions and hopes and fears and scares, and that's not a word, scares, but all these different feelings and individual personalities. I love being able to kind of learn more about how different countries and different people think and how they feel and what their life is like, to get an overall view of the world, because like the world is becoming smaller and smaller, and my channel has people from all over the place. That's the best thing. It's like having this audience to be able to interact with and communicate with and learn from, basically. Maroma Home, can you speak French? No, je ne parle pas français. No, I don't speak French. We want you to come to visit Saudi Arabia. I'll see you there soon. Will you ever come to Algeria? I wouldn't not. I don't have any flights booked to Algeria, but yeah, like maybe I'll come. Michael or Mike, and what does mean Mike? Where does your name come from? So Mike is my name, but Michael is what my family call me. So Michael is my original name. So you can call me Michael if you want. That's what my mum calls me and my dad. So Michael means who is like God, but it's not like Michael is who is like God. It's like who is like God ? So it means like it's like basically like no one's like God. It's kind of asking the rhetorical question of who is like God, and I think there's some kind of like link to angels in there as well. I think maybe it's like some kind of angel, but I might be thinking of Gabriel. I'm not sure. When did you start learning Arabic? I had my first Arabic lesson when I was at school, years ago. Yeah, like when I was 16, so like 24 years ago. Wow. I am from, no, 24, 14. Blimey, I'm not 40, Jesus. I'm from Egypt. I like that you learn Arabic language and exchange culture. Good luck. Thank you, my Atwa 92. I just put that in there. What is your feet? I think that means my height. So yeah, 5'7", roughly. Why don't you have a girlfriend? I have a wife. Yeah. Hello. Are you planning to go to Lebanon? In the short term, not right now, but in the long term, I absolutely am almost certain I will visit like in the next couple of years. Yeah. Do you want to travel to Saudi Arabia due to new visa? Yes, I do. I'm going to take advantage of that and do it. How can one be motivated to study a language? Motivation is the most difficult thing. It's the hardest thing to get going, and we all suffer from it. I certainly do. Like, you wake up and you're like, should I eat toast or should I study a language? The best thing is to make it easy for yourself. Set yourself small targets. Learn one new word a day, not 10 or 20 or 30. Learn one new word a day, or maybe two. Be exposed to it. Just listen to it and kind of expose yourself to the sounds that you get. What made you want to learn Arabic? Well, the opportunity came up. I was at school, I had lessons, I had Arabic friends, I learned from them, and I've continued it ever since. I think learning Arabic, living abroad, gives you a real big change of perspective on the country you live in, and helps you to really nurture much stronger, deeper relationships with people. How many languages do you know? A few. Yeah, not many. What do you work as when you travel to all these different countries? From Anonymous. Again, I've been working as a teacher most of the time. Should I first learn MSA then a dialect? I would say yes. I would say learn MSA, learn Fusha, and then you can go on to learn your dialect. If you're like going to a very specific country and you're only going to be working in that one particular place, then maybe you can go straight in with the dialect, but it depends on like how deep you want to go. How far do you want to go with Arabic? Do you want to really understand the roots and appreciate the depth and the history of the language, or do you just want to be able to like have some conversation? If you just want conversation and you're going to a very specific country, say you're moving to Morocco and you know you're going to be there for exactly 5 years and you're never going to go anywhere else in the Middle East, then just learn Moroccan dialect, which is called Daraja, I think, Moroccan Daraja. At what age did you start learning Arabic? Well, I had lessons at school and then I continued it ever since. How old are you? Still 30. Well, if you got their wishes, what it would be, all love from Iraq. I'm going to interpret this as like what, like if you got 3 wishes, what would they be? I think that's the question. Right, okay, 3 wishes. Well, that's a tough one. I think like health, happiness, and excitement. Right, health, happiness, and excitement. I want to be constantly learning and experiencing new things and different things, and I want to be constantly learning. So, yeah, I would wish for those 3 things in my life. When you'll come to Riyadh, I advise you to come soon because the weather is great now. Okay, well maybe I'll come to Riyadh. I haven't really thought exactly about which city I'd go to. Maybe Riyadh, Jeddah, I don't know. And there's Riyadh season. I'm not sure what Riyadh season means. ما أدري هذا المعنى، لكن ممكن أسافر إلى السعودية خلال الشتاء ليس وما خلال الصيف. الجو حار في الصيف. Up for an off-road overland experience? Yeah, hit me up. Talk about Oman. Oman, 4-letter word. Country in the Gulf. The leader, the Sultan, is called Sultan Qaboos. He's a lovely guy, very well respected. Gets on very well with the Queen of England. And is she the Queen of England or the Queen of the United Kingdom? I don't know. I think she's the Queen of England. Yeah, and other countries as well, maybe. And it's a beautiful country. There's mountains, there's cities. Muscat's a cool place. The people in Oman are different from other Gulf people. Like I mentioned earlier about Kuwaitis and Bahrainis and Emiratis perhaps being quite entitled, because that's just a fact. Like they get all this money every month, and not many people know that, but like they get loads of money every month just for kind of having that citizenship, for having the privilege of being born in that country. And Omanis, maybe they get less money or something, but they're just not quite so they're not so like fashionable, like, oh, look at me, you know, get a load of that, like check me out in my glasses and my fast cars. They're a bit less, they're a bit more like grounded, a bit more down to earth. I think that's fair to say. And the country's amazing. You got a big lake. I made a video about Oman. You can search Mike Still visiting Oman and you'll see it, or just Mike Still Oman, you'll see it there. How old are you? I'm still 30. Answer your DM. I get so many DMs, I can't answer them all, but it's worth a try. You need wingman or cameraman? Actually, like everything is shot on my iPhone. Right now, my phone is just sat on my laptop and I'm just shooting this, like, no big deal. So maybe like I'll need a cameraman one day, but I quite like doing things by myself and having that freedom of just being able to like make a video or not when I do or when I don't want to. So no beard, because damn you. Okay, that's because I asked people about whether or not I should have a beard or be cleanly shaven. I also got told, the funniest response I got from this one about the beard was, I got told that you look like a king without a wife, laugh my ass off, LMAO. And that was kind of funny, a funny response. Rainy day, cloudy day, or sunny day, which do you like? From By La 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 Land. Well, sunny day. Yeah, sunny day. I occasionally like rain to clear the air, but if I had to choose one, it'd be sunny. Your favorite word in Arabic says, my name is Michal. Afa istis kena kamuha. I think I said that right. Afa istis kena kamuha. It's like the longest word in Arabic, apparently. Of all languages, why Arabic? It's different, it's exotic, I lived in the Middle East. I always wanted to move to the Middle East after I started learning, and I think that the Arabic script is beautiful. I like life there. The opportunity came up at school and then with my job, and yeah, it's kind of led me to this position. And I think I'd rather kind of get better and better at one language, like the Arabic, than kind of know little bits of all different ones. It's quite hard to get that concentration, that focus on just focusing on on several languages at the same time. It's easy just to focus on one, I think. Why don't you live stream every week on the Hakuna app like you used to? I'd go back there, yeah, maybe I'll go back there, but I did some live streams there, they were fun, I enjoyed those. Biggest cultural shock when you moved to the Middle East? Biggest cultural shock when you moved to the Middle East? The heat, yeah, like you get off the plane and you feel like you're in an oven and you're like, when is this oven going to turn off? And it's like, even if it's 1 a.m, you're like, geez, it's very hot, you know, like really, really, really hot. But the Middle East, that was a specific Kuwait thing. The Middle East more generally, like, you know, Lebanon and Syria and even Morocco, like they're not that hot, right, compared to the UK. They're hotter, but not hot compared to Kuwait. So the cultural shock was just hearing the call to prayer, the religion, the fact that everyone's much more conservative. You don't get people walking around like half naked, and you don't get, I'll tell you what's different, is like you don't see adverts, you don't see people in bikinis, you don't see topless women, you don't see like advertising everywhere. You just see, like, they might be advertising food and like medicine or something, but you don't get the same advertising culture where everywhere you look there's a different thing being advertised, and everything's much more modest and conservative and more calm and relaxed. Jehran Rezagala, what was the best place you ever been to and why? The best place you've ever been to? The best place I've ever been to and why? Too generic. Yeah, ask me a specific question. Sorry, I can't answer that. Why do you lose weight? I have a really I have this ongoing struggle to gain weight. Like, I'm constantly trying to put on weight. I buy bags of nuts, I buy eggs, I try and eat as much as I can. But the truth is, I'm just not that into food. Like, I don't eat much. I eat once a day. I haven't eaten for about 15 hours at the moment. I do a fast every month. I'm naturally a slim person, and if I've lost weight, maybe I've lost weight, but I do lose it and gain it, but I don't really fluctuate that much. I'm normally kind of between the same average weight of about, I don't know, 62 or something, so I'm pretty slight. What are your next goals for life? I don't really set goals. My only goal would be to just continue to be happy and enjoy my life and have a peaceful mind and a enjoyable day-to-day experience. I want to be able to wake up in the morning and want to get out of bed. I want to go to bed at night with a smile on my face, feeling relaxed, calm and happy, and that's really all I want. I don't really set goals like, oh, I want to do this and do that. Whatever, like, some things happen, some things don't. You can't control everything. If you focus more on the things you can control and just kind of learn to accept the things that you can't control, then that's a much better attitude than setting goals and then getting really upset when you don't get your goal. Like, what's that all about? That's such a weird thing to do. Okay, ما اللغة التي تريد أن تعلمها غير العربية? Which other language would you like to learn other than Arabic? I think Thai. I think I should probably learn some Thai. Japanese was fun. I really enjoyed Japanese, and learning Japanese was an enjoyable experience to watch the anime, etc., etc. But probably Thai. But I'd rather, like I said, I'd rather get really good at one language, and I'm still not even there with Arabic, and I want to get better at Arabic before I go and then come on to learning other languages and stuff like that. Thank you, Mariam, or Mirama Mahmood. Mira Mahmood, there we go. Okay, and yeah, if I keep looking back at the clock, it's because I've been going 50 minutes, and I'm just hoping that my phone doesn't run out of space, because this is going to be a big file. What do you think about Palestine? I think that Palestine is a part of the world which has kind of been shrunken and shrunken over the years, and the people there are very upset about what's happened, and there's a lot of controversy around it, and you know, I feel for those people, and it's got to be tough. I've been to Jordan, I've sat on the other side of the Dead Sea and looked across to Palestine, and it's an amazing, it looks like an amazing place, the mountains, the warmth, the kind of holiness of the place is really amazing, actually. It's really quite touching, and although I've never been to Palestine, I would like to go, and that's pretty much what I think of it. Yeah, it's a nice place, nice language, and the Arabic they speak there is very different. They say helwa, and they say like salam, they say assalamu alaikum rather than salamu alaikum. kind of, it's a little bit more kind of, oh yeah, like softer and a bit more like feminine, I think. What do you think of Morocco? Morocco is a country that I visited a few years ago. It's hot, it's got nice mountains, it's got some good cities, they've got good food there, lots of nice meat. I went during Eid al-Fitr, I think, or Eid al-Adha. I think it was Eid al-Adha, and they were roasting lambs in the street, which was really cool. Like the tradition is that you roast a lamb, and then you take a lamb, you sacrifice a lamb, and then you cook it, and then you share it with your family, and then you give some to poor people as well, poor, hungry, homeless people. And that's kind of the idea behind the Eid al-Adha. Morocco is cool, yeah. It's quite chaotic. Lots of people kind of want your money and want your attention, which is a little bit annoying, but you know, you wouldn't get that in Kuwait, which is quite nice. Shalom Aleichem is Hebrew, and Beit is also house in Hebrew as well as Arabic. Do you want to learn Hebrew? Yeah, like maybe, but I don't really have any. Actually, no, I do have some friends who are like Jewish and maybe speak a bit of Hebrew, but they're like American Jewish, so it's not like they really speak that much Hebrew. They might have learned it for their bar mitzvah or the other one, but it wouldn't be top of my list just because like the incentives to learn it would be a bit lower. I'm still waiting a video about how to say butter, batter, better, and some similar other words. Riyadi Salamat, I'm very sorry. Looks like you're Filipino because you say Salamat. Kumusta po kayo? Butter. Okay, let me do it now. I'll still wait a video about how to say butter, batter, better. Butter, batter, better. Butter, batter, better. Those are the sounds. Butter, batter, better. Butter, batter, better. Why did you change your YouTube name from Mike Arabic to Mike Still? Say my name. Khadija. Your name is Khadija. Thank you, Khadija / Pandista. Arabic Mike to Mike Still. Well, about a third of my videos are about Arabic, about a third of them are about travel, and about a third of them are about music, and then I've got some videos which are about it's less than that. It's like a quarter Arabic, a quarter English, a quarter travel, a quarter music, and then some videos about random stuff which is unrelated to all of those. So really, the name Arabic Mike was quite misleading to some people, and it was causing a lot of confusion about like, why are you called Arabic Mike? Like, what's that all about? Like, what's the deal there? And so I changed it to Mike Still to try and make it less specific to the Arabic so that people wouldn't get confused. And like I made a video about Bitcoin, for example, which is totally unrelated. I want to make videos about, like I said, I want to be calling you guys, talking about things, talking about the world. So my channel will always have an Arabic theme to it, and I will certainly be making Arabic videos for a long time. Middle East Arabic, that's what my channel is all about, and it will be. But I just thought Mike Still was like a better name to be like, me. Beard. Okay, what motivated you to learn Arabic? Being able to meet people and talk to people, and sitting GCSE and passing exams and things like that. I didn't sit GCSE Arabic, by the way. That it sounds like I did, but to sit a test in Arabic, which I did, then it's like quite a big motivation to sit that test. Are you thinking of learning any other languages or just continue with Arabic? I think I've kind of answered that. Sorry, Sarah, for being quick about that. Fat Mac Alsa, what do you think about Arab people? Answer me in Arabic. يعني الشخص في العربية إنسان عربي هم لطيفون جدا وجيد جدا, very caring, very beautiful, very humble, very loyal, very wonderful people. يعني لغتي ليس جيد, ما أتكلم أن أقول كل شيء التي أريد أن أقول لأن لغتي ليس أفضل أحسن. I'm a little rusty, so I would like to explain and describe more, لكن أنا أمر إنك سعيد مع لغتي وأنا أتكلم اللغة العربية for you, Fatma. What is the most language you enjoy learning? Arabic, yeah, because I think I get more pleasure out of learning Arabic because it's like my best one. This is number 135. Okay, كيف حالك؟ خير مايكل, احنا كثير من حبك. كيف حالك خير مايكل, احنا كثير من حبك. How are you? Wait a minute, what does this mean? كيف حالك خير مايكل? How are you, Michael? Ihna, we love you very much. I think that's it. Okay, how are you? We love you very much. Thanks, man. Thanks, Hayne. Looks like you've got a horse with you, a little horse. I don't know if it's real or not, but not sure. What exactly made you want to learn Arabic? Yeah, I've kind of answered that a few times. Sorry, Al-Badr. Try Morocco. Tell us about your teaching experience in Kuwait. I worked in an international school. It was a British school. BSK, I think I've mentioned before. I had, like about 4 or 5 hours teaching a day. I was an NQT, so I had a slightly reduced timetable. So on some days I just had 2 or 3 hours. And it was good. The kids were good. It was a very good school, good rules, ran very tightly by Mr. Paul, very good man, if you're watching, Mr. Paul. And Madam Vera Al-Mutawa, wonderful lady, like her very much. And maybe I'll be back and pop in and say hello if I am back in Kuwait. But my teaching experience there was fantastic. I enjoyed it a lot. What was your impression of Kuwait? So many times I've talked about this, but it was hot, dusty, and hot. What is the hardest language to learn? I think probably, I would say it was Mandarin or the other one. I've gone blank, blimey. Mandarin. Yeah, the one they speak in Hong Kong. So the one that isn't Chinese. I can't believe I've gone blank on this. This is embarrassing. I've gone totally blank, but to be fair, I had been talking non-stop for an hour, which is madness. So yeah, the other one with all the tones, Mandarin and blah 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 blah. It's gone. I'm inspired by you. I'm learning too. Cool. How long have you been learning Arabic? Many years now. هل هناك أي الكلمات العربية التي يتم استيعابها باللغة الإنجليزية? So this means, are there any Arabic words which have been absorbed into your English language, or kind of like which you now use in English? And that's a really good question, actually. It's a shame that has to come right at the end. There was no order to this. I just put them out one by one as kind of the order they came in at. But I'm still trying to think of that Chinese language. The answer to this is yes. Like, I found myself, certainly in the early days of learning Arabic, being really finding it really difficult to not say inshallah after everything I talked about the future. See you tomorrow, inshallah. See you next week, inshallah. I'm going to pick you up from work at 3 o'clock, inshallah. Let's meet for coffee tomorrow, inshallah. Okay, see you then, inshallah. And the Arabs and the Muslims particularly, they don't take anything for granted. The future is not a given. The future is not to be taken for granted or accepted as being a definite thing. Like, anything could happen. You don't know what's going to happen, and it will only happen if God wills it to happen, inshallah. So inshallah means literally, if is the in. It's like it's the conditional. So if this, then that. Insha, like the wish or the will. Allah, inshallah. So if it's the will of the people. Mandarin and Hong Kong. I can't believe I've forgotten that. That's madness. And that is actually it. That is actually it. That's all of them. Okay, I'll do another Q&A in 2.5 years' time. I'm kidding, I might do one sooner, but I think it's important you guys get to know me a bit. You can watch the last one I did, by the way, in the description. So I did a Q&A a couple of years ago. So thank you for coming. I really love you all, and thanks for taking the time. And I'll see you next time. Until then, bye-bye, ma salama.